Hello everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'll leave the video capture device on for now. The stream should be listed as live in just a second. Online, wham, set to online. And we are live. Okay. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, depending on where you are. It is... Let me switch scenes, actually. It is noon on the dot where I am, which is U.S. Eastern Time. I've been awake for about an hour and a half, and I had a friend... There is a gnat in here. It's very annoying. I had a friend that was going to be providing me with a replay to analyze of him, relatively, I don't know, low 4K MMR Lycan gameplay, and he's got some issues, and I was going to do some analysis of that to see how I could help him improve, etc. And I'm totally open to this idea. If you would like to leave comments on the VOD of this video that I'll put on YouTube, and just leave match IDs for any hero that I play a lot, such as Enigma, Lycan, Slark, Terrorblade. If you just heard a noise, that's the shower. It's in the other room, but you can kind of hear it coming through the wall. Doom, any of those heroes, Faceless Void, Weaver. You can leave me links to videos of any of those heroes, and I can sort of go through and tell you like things you might have done wrong or things you could improve upon if you want. If I get into a bind for getting replays. So since I don't have his replay, we're going to be doing analysis of w33's meepo. Let's switch over to here, and we are in game already. This is w33's meepo. I need to go ahead and adjust the volume down to, that should be sufficient. W33 is one of the best meepo players in the world right now. Maybe the very best meepo. Like, everybody talks about Excalibur and people talk about No-Tail, but all W33 really does is play meepo. It's his most played hero. He's like 6 point something KMMR, maybe 7 KMMR now. And he is a European player that just loves his meepo. He's got a pretty nice meepo set. It's pretty nice. So, meepo has a base movement speed of 315, which is actually quite fast. But regardless, just to ensure the safety of the block, and this is something that I do when I'm safe laning, I will actually wait close to the tier 2 tower and use this to block. And if my movement speed is under 300, I'll actually wait right here by the trees to catch the creeps so that they'll already have changed speed after passing that tower. Oh, I am so sorry. Let's go to view all friends and go offline so that I will not get spammed by people. And here we go. So he's doing a pretty solid creep block, and especially since his opponents aren't blocking at all, it's going to be very comfortable for him. And I guess that emote was just for him to, like, I don't know, express surprise at the fact that there was no block coming out from the offlaners. Pudge with an Invis rune, but he has level 1 Rot, so he's not going to be able to do much of anything. Oh! Wow. And W33 not having the greatest of starts here might actually go down. I have not watched this replay. It was one that I made the decision to pick up at the very last minute. However, he does end up with over 600 GPM, so he does play quite well, gets a lot of farm. Going to go ahead and move that. I really need to like tape my camera down on top of my monitor so it'll stay put. So, just getting some last hits. It is 130. He's only got 2 CS. He is the safe lane farming meepo as opposed to the usual mid meepo. However, they did want to send the Viper mid. It's not that difficult of a lane for him. Like Rubik with the slow combined with the route from Pudge and the hook damages. It's potentially really strong, but once meepo hits level 3 or, like, God, even level, honestly, I guess it's level 8 or 9 that he gets his second clone. He's just going to be absolutely terrifying. Honestly, I don't know. I do not play a lot of meepo. I watch a lot of meepo, but I've not played a lot of meepo. And meepo's a hero that you kind of want to be relatively conservative with in the early game. At least until you've got a few clones up. And then you can get kind of super aggressive just because your poof does... I mean, that's 140 damage for, I mean, as many clones as you have, so it's a boatload of damage. And the Earthbind is also really, really nice. Like, Earthbind is... that goes through BKB on like 99 points. Oh, no, it doesn't go through BKB, actually. Interesting. I was almost positive that went through BKB. Bullet. It prevents units from going invisible, but it won't hit units that are already invisible. One of the things that's pretty cool about meepo, and you'll see this more in the mid lane, especially when you're in a situation where you can't just right-click all day. Meepo can poof to get last hits, especially in the early game, and you're talking like, what's it, 80 damage at level 1? Which is pretty good, especially considering meepo's base attack damage is really, 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 really bad. He's level 3 now, and he's hitting for 45 damage a hit. Probably going to go ahead and get like a couple pieces of treads. Yes. Meepo is also a hero that he only shares primary stats that are picked up on, well, the only item that's actually shared between all of his meepos evenly are whatever boots he picks up, and so it's almost universally treads, unless you're like 6-slotted and you want boots of travel. He does, however, he shares all raw stat items, so like, that's why you see Reaver Core on meepo, because it gives you 25 strength, versus you actually don't want to pick up the full heart, because you only get 15 strength for the additional half of the price. And look at that damage, that's just ridiculous, like that hits so hard. It's so, so strong. He doesn't have any cooldowns off, but he probably, yeah, he's done, he's done. The secret of the hero is just being able to know when you have to blink forward. Actually, hold on 1 second. Episode 2. Cool, sorry. Actually, I still have the title from episode 1. Meanwhile, just getting a little bit more farm going in the bottom lane. He does have a Stout Shield and Power Treads, but considering the Stout Shield's going to scale off pretty soon, he's essentially got 2 identical meepo clones, which, I don't know, I'm kind of OCD, so that feels good to me, but it's actually not good, because you kind of prefer to have that initial meepo that you can put a blink on and then blink in to tank up all the shit. Right now it is 7-2, and as far as GPM is concerned, meepo is dominating that, even higher than the Faceless Void. Meepo is a relatively hard carry, but he's really a mid-game carry, because even though it's good to get him really, really fat and get him lots and lots of items, the majority of his damage he actually gets from drawing upon his W and his Q. Now, I don't believe there's an ultimate here from this Pudge. She's only level 5, so no. They shouldn't be able to get anything here. However, there's a Leshrac coming in. I don't know how much the Leshrac will be able to get. Unless that Pudge lands a super hook. I don't know, I guess I'm pretty generous. To me, any hook is a super hook. Wheeze, yeah, he definitely overextended there. The thing about the Pudge hook that people forget is like when you hit people, it's like at level 4 it's 360 instant pure damage, and level 3 it's 270. So it's actually a very large amount of damage just to be hit by the hook. Fright Zone. I will be playing Lycan. I don't know when I'm going to play Lycan on stream. I haven't been playing a heck of a lot of him lately. I mean, he's probably still 50% of my games, but he's probably only 50% of my games right now because I'm playing a lot of... 50% is a low percent for me to be playing like him, so... Just getting them our last hits. 7 minutes in, he's got 34 last hits. Not so super crazy, but he has got a boatload of kills so far, so... He's in a somewhat comfortable position, however... The Faceless Void in the enemy team is kind of terrifying against a meepo, because you can just, if you get a good chrono and you get them all, you can just kind of pick one off and kill them.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Sorry, if you see me looking this way, that's where my monitor is. Where my second monitor is for the Twitch chat. And the Pudge ultimate goes off, but it's interrupted. He's definitely going down. Faceless Void's farm is not super great, but it's also not too bad at this point in time. Which is kind of scary for meepo, because now the Faceless Void is like about 40, roughly 40, 30-some GPM above our hero. Gungrave asks in the Twitch chat, how do you counter meepo? I think Faceless Void is a great counter to meepo, if you land the ult right, because even if you just catch one meepo, even if you just catch like half the meepos, or you catch one meepo and the other meepos are busy, you just gotta kill one, and Void is a fucking beast at just picking off single targets thanks to his ult. Also, now the Void's level 8 and meepo's level 7, and all he's got is treads and a stout. And even though Void's farm is pretty similar... Oh, no, never mind. This Void's actually really, really, really bad. This is a really bad Void because he got 4 levels of his Q rather than... Like, you want to get 2 levels of the Q and then 1 point in backtrack, and then max time lock. Like, he should have time lock by now, and, like, he'd be so much more powerful if he had just got the time lock. Like, he could easily kill this Viper by himself, like, with the time lock. Like, the range on the Q is nice, but, like, honestly, I really want to pause for a second and say that I feel like this is a huge, like, egregious mistake. I play Faceless Void in a way that I think is very defensive, and that is I get a level 1 point of Time Walk, and then I get a level 2 point of Backtrack, and then I get another point of Time Walk. The reason being is 2 points in Time Walk is kind of nice because the movement slow goes to 20 to 30, the attack slow goes from 20 to 30, the range goes from 700 to 900. The big thing about the second point is the 2 seconds on the cooldown, because mana cost is always the same, and increasing the range from 700 to 900 is actually pretty huge. Like, the thing about Faceless Void that people don't realize is that his bash is what gets you kills in the early game because it does double damage when you're in a Chronosphere. So instead of bashing for 70 at level 4, it bashes for 140. It's why you build attack speed on him in the early game rather than damage, because he relies on his passive to do the damage. So you use Chronosphere, and then you run it at level 8, you should have 2 points in Time Walk, 1 point in Backtrack, maxed, or 2 points in Time Walk, 1 point in Backtrack, and then 4 points in Time Lock. And if you ult and Time Walk in, or just ult and run up with your tread set to Agility, you should be able to just right-click anyone down and kill them, like almost any hero in the game, unless they're super fucking farmed. Like, at this point in the game, you should be able to pick off anyone with that combo. And he's just doing it completely wrong. Like, it's nice to have that mobility, but the point is, like, he's almost irrelevant in fights, and the second point in Backtrack doesn't really give you that much. Like, you get 1 point in Backtrack early on so that you can survive the laning phase because it's nice to have 10%, but for the rest of the levels, you're only getting 5% versus the first level you get 10%, and it's also 10% from nothing versus 15% from 10%. I just got an email. So, yeah, I think its build's really bad. 2 points, 1 point Time Walk, 1 point Backtrack, another point in Time Walk, max your bash, get your ult to the standard, get your ult at the standard times, and that's like how I play Void, and I honestly think it's the best way to play Void. And I think it's totally viable for Void to do that build in the off lane. Like, I went 10-0 last night in the first 10 minutes of the game that we eventually lost last night as an off lane Void, and I was on a Smurf account. We were having fun, and we just wrecked a bunch of people. But anyway, let me go back to the game. So w33 has been killed again. Not looking too great for him at the moment. Disruptor getting cut out, doing nothing. Again, we're we're talking about W33 here, whose MMR is extraordinarily high, like 6 or 7k. So the rest of the people in the game might be of like a great disparity of MMR, because when you see people around 6 and 7k, you see like greatly varying MMR. W33 will start to do the classic meepo comeback trick, which is essentially he can send this meepo to the top to right-click, and he can send this meepo down here. And even if you're not right-clicking, just having the two meepos, like, you get double the experience. Like, they both absorb experience. And the thing about a meepo that makes him, like, good as a mid-game hero and that lets him get all the items and the stats that he needs is that he's actually able to level faster than any hero in the game, because he can actually pull and stack these jungle camps while he's farming this top lane. And he's got the spare meepo down here, because, like, hold on. Okay, no, so you can teleport to any meepo. But he's going to just channel that, and because he was far enough away, he actually won't take any damage. Because I think he did enough damage to instantly kill the ranged satyr there, which 140, I didn't realize they were that weak, but maybe they are. And now he's just going to tank it, but still, like, he can actually just stack and kill this camp. Sorry, we're going to ignore what's going on over there. In the meantime, he can do the exact same thing on this top lane and kill this creep. And it's got... Is that a custom icon for Geostrike? I think that's a custom icon for Geostrike. That's really cool. So, I think that... I mean, I know that you can easily kill this camp while he's killing this camp, and if he doesn't think he's going to get picked off by this Leshrac, he can just go over and continue to farm that. There's a team fight going on here, but I'm not really worried about it. That's not what this video is about. W33's this meepo is way too low. He might actually die here. Yeah, he'll be okay. He paid attention. If he's super greedy, he can get this. He's got a net though. Okay, never mind. He doesn't have to. Meanwhile, there's still a fight going on over here, but it's not that important. Versus up here, the meepo is still getting sick farm and sick levels. Like, the meepo, I think, just went from level 7 to level 8.5 in around 1.5 minutes, which is pretty good. Yeah. This boy's really bad. He's really bad. He's really fucking bad. So, meepo's up here. He brought a second meepo up, and I guess what we'll do now is just, like, basically use this as a fresh meepo to farm with, and then send this one to side shops and or back to the base. Because remember, this is like the side meepo, so this meepo like can only poof to other meepos, versus this one can actually like walk anywhere. Alright, my girlfriend's about to get out of the shower, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Sorry guys. Yeah, we sleep in pretty damn late here. Yeah, my first class is in like hour and a half or so. So, meanwhile, back at the top lane, meepo is meepoing again, just AFK farming, and it's becoming difficult for his team because his team's taking a lot of bad fights and the meepo's not showing up, because he should be actually showing up to some extent. But hey, real quick, I want to take a look at his build. Earthbind cast range, you see 4 seconds off the cooldown and the cast range increases. Like, points in Earthbind are really big. Versus the Geo strikes slow, the duration and the damage, like, I don't know how much I like this, but W33 is the best meepo in the world, so I can't actually, can't question it. Hello, Jaquan the Chef. Yes, I am the Lycan guy. So anyway, the Geostrike passive, it's good. I guess he just wants to max out the slow, and like the thing about the Earthbind is you don't really, as you can see, you don't get any increased duration from maxing it, and 500 cast range is really ass versus 700 cast range, 750 cast range is actually workable. And then this 20 to 16 cooldown, 16 seconds still kind of sucks, but it's okay. And without the Geostrike, you honestly don't have any right click. So I'm not sure how he's going to play this out. I would suspect that he might go ahead and max the Geostrike before finishing up the Earthbind, but this is one of those things like the Faceless Void I told you about, where don't get caught up in maxing Time Walk first, get 2 points in this, and then max your fucking Time Lock, with 1 point in your backtrack. Really, the point in backtrack is optional. I know this is a meepo video, but I've got so much to say about Void. I played the fuck out of this hero now. The point in backtrack is really optional, but I almost always get it because I'm so conservative in the way that I play. But even as conservative as I play, like, you don't need 4 points. And like, this guy maxed time walk by level 7. It's just really bad. It's really, really, really stupidly bad. Meepo now has 2 pieces of his AGs, which is pretty darn good. He's back up to 392 GPM, and the way that he's maintaining this is just by AFK farming and split farming, which basically means like having different Meepos in different parts of the map. He might get picked off here with a smoke gank. He's probably going to get picked off. I don't know, actually. He definitely knows what's going on. He needs to poof out. Oh, they poofed in. But he doesn't know they're looking. That is a pudge. Wow, they blew a lot there. The pudge ult and the disruptor ult. Pudge ult not that big of a deal, but disruptor ult. Oh no. Oh, it was Rubik's stolen disruptor ult, so it's not a big deal at all. Again, I've only been really paying attention to Meepo and then the Void because I play a lot of Void. It's really, really bad Void. Really, really, really bad Void. Shikaru or Shikaru. Hey, Side Dive. Shikaru, this is the eSportsMoney show. It's a show that I've started that's 3 days a week. It's at 12 noon Eastern time. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I've got my schedule here, so I'm like looking over here. And I'm basically doing replay analysis of high-level Dota 2 games and replay analysis of fan games of heroes I play. I won't do analysis of, like, if you send me a game of Lycan, I'll analyze it, but if you send me a game of, like, I don't know, Death Prophet, I won't analyze it because I don't know the hero that well. I answer questions at the end of the game, too. About the game and about Dota in general. Again, just a little pick-off here. I'm not really concerned about this. Nothing really is going on right now, except Meepo's continuing to farm. He does send the second one down here, so now he can farm the jungle a lot faster. He might make the decision to go here, but I think it would be a bad one. He should probably, yeah, he goes just straight back to the top lane. One of the problems that he's really seeing in this game is that he's not really pushing hard enough versus the enemy team is like 5-manning the whole time. But the enemy's not really getting objectives. Like, they're not getting towers, they're just getting kills, so that's not that bad for that. There's no, like, super huge advantage in either game. And I do know who wins this game. I'm not going to reveal it just yet. Versus, okay, here comes the Pudge coming up. There's, like, 3 people roaming there, but they're not going to find much. It's one of the hardest things about Meepo, because he's so just damn mobile, he can just always kind of be everywhere. Okay, he needs to get out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Meepo's me-boned. Yeah, he's absolutely screwed. Pudge does go down, though, but that's not really important, because the Pudge is not really a core. Again, I'm just kind of casually watching this while we wait for our friend Meepo. Scoot up 10 seconds. Scoot up 10 seconds. Meepo just came back. He's going to be TPing to the middle lane to jungle some more. He's really ignoring these team fights, which is making me kind of question it. But I think he feels like he needs to come back a little bit more because he just doesn't have like as good as farm as I would expect him to. And well, not farm, but levels. Like, you take a look at the sidebar, I mean, his team's getting wrecked, but you take a look at the sidebar, like, the Void's level 12, and he's only level 11. And that's not, like, such a bad deal on a normal hero, but one of the big advantages that makes Meepo so strong is that Meepo gets so much experience. It's like, when I play Lycan, like, if I'm only one level higher than the highest person on their team, I feel like I'm losing, because I'm just so good at farming, and I'm so good at getting, I mean, but by me, I mean the hero. I mean, Lycan's so good at farming, and Lycan's so good at getting experience. There's been a lot of 5-manning this game. It's been like... There's been a stupid amount of 5-manning. It's almost uncomfortable. Just... I don't know, like, I'm waiting for w33 to decide to take a team fight, but I don't think he feels confident yet. I think he wants to finish that X first. But now he doesn't have money for a TP. It's kind of bad. He does have 4 Meepos now.
We're detecting high levels of
he's gonna rat it out, I guess. Which he could kind of do. Like, he can't, like... He's not like a super rat like a Lycan or an just Prophet or a farmed-ass Tiny, but he can definitely rat, given what he has. Especially because Tier 1s don't have backdoor protection. He should really be okay, now he's going to come ahead and go ahead and fight. Oh my god. And he like... That was so beautiful. We gotta pause for a second. He essentially... What W33 did was... He essentially TP'd... He saw the fight coming, so he tabbed through all of his meepos. And this is one of the problems with the Dota client, because if I put on his perspective, it would just show where his camera was looking, and it wouldn't show him tabbing through all his individual units, which is kind of shitty. But essentially what he did was he started channeling Poof way early, and it was perfect. Like it wasn't early, it was perfect. But he started channeling Poof as soon as that net hit. Like as soon as he threw the net, I think he started to channel Poof, and it's hard to tell because again the replay client's not as good. But hold on, actually, let's rewind 10 seconds and look at meepo. As soon as that is cast, all the meepos start chanting. Like, as soon as he throws that net, the meepos are ready to go. Meepo is a bullshit hero, side dive. That's why I'm doing a review of him. He's really strong. Meepo's about to get really, like, Meepo's basically got, like, all he needs now because the primary stats from the Aghanim Scepter carry over to his little buddies. And so, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, oh no, yeah, most of his stats carry over to the, a certain percentage of his stats carry over to the, allied meepos. And now he's got a Blink Dagger too, so he can blink, net, poof, and just kill everyone. This is, in my opinion, the strongest... Like, this is the part of the game where meepo's terrifying. You're looking at a meepo here at 18 minutes and 30 seconds that's got Tread Ags and Blink Dagger, and now he can actually fight to his full extent. This is the part of the game where the meepo gets to be really scary. And we've seen his GPM increase from about 350 to 528 in the last 2 or 3 minutes. And this is average for the game, so this is pretty huge. Shikaru, on your question relating to Lycan, Lycan does so much damage so quickly, mostly in part because of his passive, and the fact that his passive actually amplifies damage based on strength, so any item that you get that gets strength, you actually get additional damage from it because of the passive. Like, if you get an armlet, it actually gives you... One of the reasons that, like, armlet is an emergency contingency item on Lycan is because you get... The passive still applies to any damage that you get from items that give you more strength on Lycan. Anyway, back to this. Meepo will take a casual Tier 1 top. He needs to come bottom and fight here. I believe he's got a meepo somewhere because I've seen nets. There he is. Kind of. No, where is he? There's a meepo. He's not really committing. He's not really trusting his team too hard here. Because, as you can see, he's still pushing top essentially, and just keeping one meepo down there in case he decides he has to TP back. We'll take the top tier 2 on the Dire side. A little bit of an overextension by the Disruptor. I think he will go down. Oh, yeah, he's definitely going down. However, that was a really nice static field from the Disruptor, or whatever that thing, the fence is. Kinetic field. That was really good from the Disruptor. It kept the Void. It basically caused the Void to, like, whiff a Chrono. And then they ended up trading the Disruptor for the Void, so that was actually pretty good. Meepo up here is just basically still bouncing back and forth from the jungle and the lane and getting experience and money. He does take that tower, so like they traded tier 2 for tier 2, and Like, I'm sure the Radiant's behind. Like, the Radiant's behind, like, 2,500 gold. The Radiant's behind, like, 7,500 experience in a game where the Radiant team has a meepo. The Radiant team's actually, like, pretty substantially behind. However, they're staying in this, and, like, when they took a trade like that, like, Tier 2 for Tier 2, when you're really behind, like, that's an inefficient trade for the Dire team because they're ahead. They don't want to trade evenly. They want to trade, like, more efficient than not to maintain their lead. So it's kind of weird that the Dire let that happen, but I think they're just feeling... They might have felt a little overconfident. It's not a big thing, but it's like statistically speaking, if you're really far ahead, you don't want to be trading 1 for 1. You want to be trading more efficiently than 1 for 1, because it gives you the chance for the enemies to come back. However, the Dire does carry a little bit harder, so that's a bit of a confound in my math there, because the Faceless Void will eventually ball out of control. Faceless Void is actually... His farm's okay. His farm's decent. His farm's pretty decent. It's 537 GPM. Like, I don't know about the choice to get a BKB. I guess BKB is the best thing he could have got. And normally I say I don't know. When I say I don't think about a choice, it's usually because, like, there is an obvious bet. That's because I don't think it's the very best thing he could have got, and I think BKB was the best thing he could have got. We'll go ahead and get the Roshan, but meanwhile, I need to be paying more attention to Meepo. He's got this Meepo here, which is the main Meepo. It's the tankiest Meepo, and it's the one with the Blink Dagger, and he's got it here in a position where he can, like, join a fight at any time. But he's got, like, he's got 3 others pushing top, like, the whole time. I think he needs, like, 1 or 2 more levels before he gets his 5th Meepo. It's going to be a lot of damage when he gets the 5th Meepo. Personally, I think he should have 1 Meepo in the bottom lane at all times because he needs to get that extra farm, or that extra experience, because he really wants that 5th Meepo. However, Faceless Void is here, balling out of control with the Aegis. Meanwhile, the Meepo is doing a little rat action. And we all know how I feel about rat action. Let's go with Hero Chase on Mappo. 1 second. I think Meepo's about to get dueled here. No, he will not. One of the beautiful things about Meepo, too, is if he gets dueled by LC, then you just have the other Meepos kill that bitch. That is a greedy, greedy, greedy Meepo, but I think the Meepo would have killed both of those players if he got close enough. So Void was pretty low. Did Void burn? But Void hasn't burned Aegis yet. But Void is also, like, one of the things that makes Void, like, a hero that really fits well with my style is that he's an ability-based hero. And Void's ultimate is down. He's essentially, like, he's really good still, but, like, he's like 90. He's like 75% his ultimate. Also, if your Twitch is acting up, my internet acts up from time to time, so you can just, like, let me know in the chat if things are fucked up. I mean, it doesn't really matter because, like, worst case scenario, you can always check this out on YouTube. I'm recording this separately on my desktop as I'm streaming it, so it will be, everything will be on YouTube, like, verbatim. And, well, not verbatim, it'll actually be on YouTube lag-free when it goes up, which is nice. Meanwhile, we just got this Meepo, like, farming everywhere. Like, he's farming the enemy jungle, he's farming the enemy safe lane, while he's got his main Meepo positioned in the mid to fight as soon as that Void gets ready. And they still have a tier 1 mid. Like, I didn't even realize that earlier. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Rubik looks like he wants to do something, but... Oh, I didn't see that there were 2 here. I thought it was just 1. So yeah, he needs to get out. He's probably dead. He's definitely dead. Yeah, he's dead. And this is the part where I was talking about the counter to the Meepo being the Faceless Void. The Faceless Void just, like... In the early game, Meepo will just, like, run a train on him. In the mid game, it really depends on who gets the drop on who. Meepo is better than Void in the mid game just because, like, he can use his combo at any point in time, and the Void actually has to use his ultimate and land the ultimate and get a kill via the ultimate. But in the late game, it doesn't really matter because the Void will just BKB up and then bash the dude into the ground. Void really doesn't have that many damage items at this point. I assume he's going for Mjolnir. I think I still agree with the Mjolnir even at this point in the game because obviously it's just attack speed, so you're really relying on your bashes, but his bash is good all through the game, so. Not to mention he has the Maelstrom, it'll help him farm faster, get the shield, etc., so.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let me play. Just playing Void. Like, this is kind of a bad game for meepo because he's really uncomfortable. Like, it's 20. He's got the highest GPM in the game, but he still can't do that much just because there's a Void. And the Void just burned a really, really long BKB. So, like, oh, if that meepo dies, he's screwed. Yeah. And meepo doesn't have buyback because he just bought the sheepstick. So that's essentially it, guys. Oh no, I guess I'll go on for a little bit longer. Because the dire side do eventually take this game. It looks like they turn the knife for a long time before they do. The Void is Jimmy Ho, really? The Void is Let Me Play. Really? Fucking Jimmy Ho? I guess that wouldn't surprise me because Jimmy Ho, also known as Jimmy Throw. That was really, really good from the Disruptor. This actually could be a big play from the Radiant side. Yeah, he should get everyone if he. Oh no, he won't get the blink. Blink on cooldown. Blink on cooldown. Blinkorino Cappuccino. He's gonna try to find something. Oh yeah, he's dead. He's so dead. But it is just the Aegis, but I don't think it'll matter. He should kill this Void regardless. Wow. That Void is really burning every cooldown in the book. Wow. What kind of damage is Poof? Doesn't say the damage. I think it's composite? I guess it's composite. I would assume magical. I think it should be magical, but it might be composite. The reason I'm asking is because if it's magical, it should be blocked by BKB, versus if it's composite, it'll go through BKB. Unless otherwise specified.
Middle tower, everyone, go now.
They have an Ogre Magi? Like, that's probably been the least impact person in the game.
Middle tower has fallen.
And now they're looking to push counter-Rex. Rod of Atos. Rod of Aoi on the Shrek. Rod of Aoi got that nickname because AUI 2000 is a big proponent of the Rod of Atos. I think I'm actually going to end this replay here because I think you guys have seen the basic points, and the meepo will, of course, scale off. You guys have seen basically everything that'll happen in a meepo game as of this point. Meepo will... Let me turn the camera. Can I turn the camera? I will turn the camera to me for a second. Meepo will essentially, at certain points in the game, he will be really, really weak. Like, at level 1, Meepo's a relatively weak hero. In the early game, he's okay. In the mid-game, he's one of the strongest heroes in the game. Like, he might be the best mid-game fighter there is. He just kills everyone. He's really susceptible to, like, 1v1 pick-off heroes. Like LC, unless, I mean, if you're decent, though, the LC will die, because you can just poof on her and then just right-click her down. Faceless Void, like I said, Faceless Void and Earthshaker are probably the two best counters to Meepo. Earthshaker's really good at destroying him in the early and mid-game. And the Faceless Void's just really good at killing Meepo in the late game. Really, any carry that scales really, really hard into the late game, like a Tiny especially, All of those really, really hard, ultra, ultra, ultra late game carries are better than meepo, because meepo's almost like, he's like an agility alchemist in the sense where he's really good at just blowing people up in the mid game and the early game, and he has a lot of mechanics to get way ahead in levels and farm in the mid game. That's basically meepo in a nutshell. As far as this Void goes, I do not like the build he did at all, and think it was wrong and bad. I don't know if that's Demon or not, but I don't like it. So, shoot away some questions. Questions on the Twitch chat. Pretty please. Please, Areno, Cappuccino. Twitch chat questions. Okay, while I'm waiting for the stream to catch up, I will be probably streaming the Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos campaign, followed by the Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne campaign, because I've been watching some playthroughs of that on YouTube lately, and it makes me really nostalgic, and the game's just really good. In my opinion, it was the last game that Blizzard really poured their heart into. So, let's see. What do we have here? No Vlads on the Meepo side. I mean, A7, you don't really get Vlads on Meepo because, like, the Meepo's never going to be in a situation where he's like a super right-click hero. Like, Meepo is a hero that you build tanky, and you build, like, if you were building Meepo for right-click, then why would you ever get the disable from the sheep stick? You just straight up get you get positional items, and you get tanky items, and you get active items. Again, I'm sorry, I'm looking up this way because that's where you guys are in the chat. I think, I don't think of Vlads as appropriate pretty much ever on Meepo, unless, like, I mean, it may be a mech, but you would be buying it for the purpose of tankability, not for the purpose of damage, because Meepo's a hero that doesn't do well in the late game and doesn't do well with that percentile damage increase and the lifesteal that Vlads gives you, unless you're just like AFK jungling with him. Meepo's a hero that's really designed to blow people up with his Q and his W. And I know this is Dota and everything's asymmetrical and can be like played in really wonky ways, but the hero is really designed to use his Q and W. Like it's exponentially more efficient than using his like right click to kill people. Any chance you can link your Lycan guide? Yes, I actually can. I always can link my Lycan guide. One second while this is loading up. Everyone always asks me to link my Lycan guide. It's ridiculous. Like, I'll come on and be like, guys, I'm going to do analysis of this, 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 and this. And everyone's just like, that's great. Could you please play Lycan more? Lycan. Okay. Page 2. God, some of these videos I'm looking at like haven't been updated since, like I made in 2012. It's ridiculous. Wow, we got like almost 40,000 views on this video. Alright. A7, the sustain on the sustain from the heart doesn't actually transfer over to the Meepo clones. It only goes to the big one, and that means you're basically spending half of the cost of that item. So it's like what, 1,200 plus like 1,300. So you're spending 2,500 for that region on one of your 5 Meepo clones, and 15 strength on the rest. So it's not super bad, but it's like it's not as efficient as just putting putting the Reaver on him and getting the blink. Like if you could have a heart or a Reaver plus a blink, there's no logical reason why you should ever get the heart ever. I mean, if you're like 6 slotted and you just like, well, I'll never be able to fill up my FT Scots with multiple Scotties, like it's okay, but like it's not as good as just having a Reaver and a blink. Like the hero just like doesn't do anything except blow people up. Like Meepo's like the glassiest of glass cannons because you're kind of squishy. You're a little bit tanky, but you're kind of squishy. But you have 5 targets to defend, and most of those targets are real. Like his clones, especially in the early game, his clones are super freaking squishy. Like his clones are really squishy. Heart is 1 slot for more max HP. Yeah, but the thing about Meepo's clones is that you only get health from strength. So you're paying 2,500 gold for 15 strength, essentially. Like, when you look at meepo, you try to look at the hero holistically, or try to, like, look at the hero as far as, like, nukes and disables are concerned and positioning. The Blink Dagger lets you get positioning on one meepo, and positioning, you can, like, the reason that positioning and disable is good on the main meepo is that all of the other meepos benefit from it, because they can blink on top of you, versus making the one meepo right-click harder, or the one meepo, like, take more damage, doesn't really benefit you, because once the other meepos jump on top of you, they all die. And, like, the clones, the thing about meepo is you have to protect the clones, because one clone dies, you just die. So, like, you need to think about things that benefit the clones, like whether it's stats or positional items, and usually it's going to be positional items, but you need to be thinking in terms of keeping those clones alive. Side dive 4440 best build. Alright guys, well this has been the eSportsMonies show. It is 12:44 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, so this is the end of today's show. Tomorrow's show, I might look at one of Microsoft's replays. I might look at. There was someone else that had an idea on here that I liked. I'm not sure. I might look at one of Microsoft's Lycan videos, and I might look at some of Matrice's stuff. I'm not sure yet. I might be reviewing my friend's Dota replay. On Friday afternoons at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be doing something. It will not be the eSportsMoney show. It will be me doing something else. Hi, Lara. Hi. It will be me doing something else completely different. Not completely different. It'll probably be me either streaming another game or a podcast, or it'll be just me pontificating about some specific topic within Dota 2. So, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to the YouTubes. Please follow me on Twitch. Please follow me on Twitter, at eSportsMonies. That's why this is the eSportsMonies show. There's actually no money involved here. But thanks, guys, and I will catch you later. Peace.